Hello everyone, welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host Mel Rose, and this is your astrology preview for the first decan of the new year, January 1 through 9, 2024. The first 10 days of the year are the second 10 days of the Sun's transit in Capricorn, brought to you by the Three of Pentacles in Tarot. But before we get into it, I want to say, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click for notifications so that you will know when I post fresh daily astrology and tarot content like I do. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. The Three of Pentacles is giving vibes of collaboration. When we work together, we can create more substance and support for ourselves and our communities. So here in the second part of the Sun's journey in Capricorn, the Three of Pentacles indicates it's a good time for teamwork and bringing our expertise to cooperative efforts. The next week or so is for precision planning and working together toward a common purpose. This 10-day segment includes New Year's Day, which was today, the waning half moon in Libra coming up this Wednesday, and Mars moving into Capricorn on Thursday. Now let's go ahead and take this day by day. Today is Monday, the 1st. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everybody had a safe and wonderful New Year celebration, however you chose to celebrate. Venus is square to Saturn today, and this can bring our values, our ideas about what we like, love, and can't get enough of into friction with our commitments and responsibilities. So sometimes that's a little bit like, I want this, but my commitments and responsibilities say I should do that instead. And hopefully we can rise to that challenge and just, stick to our commitments and responsibilities, no matter how much we might prefer to go off on our own and do something different. Mercury also goes direct today, and that brings in blessed clarity. As far as Mercury retrogrades go, this has not been a bad one. Mercury in Capricorn is pretty good for planning, and we've had a lot of really supportive and positive astrology lately for idealizing and creating concrete goals and plans out of our dreams and our ideas of the bigger, better things we'd like to be, do, and have. So with Mercury going direct, perhaps something that has not been clear to us over the past couple of months will become a little more clear. And it is in its retrograde shadow until the 26th. That means it's still traveling on territory it's already traveled on twice so far, when it went direct and then retrograde before. So until the 26th, we're still in the territory of that stuff that we've been dealing with since the end of November. Once we get to the 26th, we'll be sort of full speed ahead, really more concentrating on what's going on in the present and in the future. Wednesday the 3rd, Venus is going to go quincunx to Jupiter, and that will be with us through the 5th. This is, again, that stuff, that our open receptive hearts, that stuff we like, love, and can't get enough of. Our ideas about that are having to make an adjustment to our growth and optimism. So Jupiter really wants us to have the bigger, better, and more of everything that we have in our life. It really expands everything that it touches. And so, as our values grow, as our sense of self-value grows, right? As we gain more optimism, our ideas about what we value might change, and how we express those values might change as well. That's what's coming through to me on that. And then also this Wednesday is the waning half moon in Libra. This is when we are separating fact from fiction. With the waning moon in Virgo, we were already doing a separation. We were sorting out, although it's probably more stuff and things, or, budgeting, that stuff that has to do with material, our material well-being, our health, wealth, and finances. Now we've moved into Libra, and so it's really separating fact from fiction. It's, sort of releasing ourselves from any illusions that we might have about our responsibility or lack thereof for certain things, right? But it's also just sort of releasing from our lives, you know, ideas that we thought might work, that we thought were true, but turn out not to be. Okay, we want to tell true stories about our lives. That way we can be realistic and make real progress. Thursday the 4th, Mars moves on into Capricorn, where it will be through Valentine's Day. Mars in Capricorn is exalted. This is action married to progress. This is initiative married to our commitments, right? And I said something similar down here, but really this is where, you know, we're directing all of our, we're putting all of our energy into, we're putting all of our forward motion into the plans that we have laid to get those practical outcomes that represent stability and security for ourselves. So I'm really looking forward to that Mars and Capricorn transit, and just really being able to apply myself to what's going to you know, what it is that I'm trying to achieve in life. Now, when Mars moves into Capricorn, it's going to be there with the Sun and Pluto, and eventually Mars will be in Capricorn still, and the Sun and Pluto at the end of the Sun's transit on January 20th, the Sun and Pluto are going to link arms, and they're going to cross the threshold into Aquarius together. That is going to be a momentous occasion. That's going to be a big day. So, you know, the tension as the Sun approaches Pluto over the next 20 days, that sort of tug of transition and transformation is going to feel a little bit stronger for us every day up until the 20th. And taking initiative toward those transformations when we see what's coming, when we know that we can take action on them, is going to be a really good idea, going to be good for us to do. And then Saturday the 6th, Sun is going to be square to Chiron. Again, square is friction, or it's a challenge. It's just a bump in the road that you have to get over, okay? It's not meant to stop you ever. Sun is your personal identity, sort of who you are in the world, and your sense of purpose. And Chiron in Aries especially wants us to work on healing wounds from the childhood, wounds of abuse, bullying, exclusion. And also, you know, what comes to mind is those intergenerational wounds, that intergenerational dysfunction that we're all that I think so many of us are really like becoming aware of and trying to heal from at this time. So, you know, it might be a little challenging. It might feel a little more like that opportunity for healing that comes along might feel like a little bit more than you want to do. You know, as my mother would sometimes say, another effing opportunity for growth, right? But rise to the challenge, because the healing that you might receive here is really worth it. Monday the 8th, Mercury, again, another square. Look at all those squares. We've got some challenges coming up in the next couple of weeks, and some adjustment and some transition, right? So Mercury square to Neptune. This is the third of three. Mercury went square to Neptune, then it reversed, and it went, you know, it went retrograde and it squared Neptune, and now it's going forward again and it's squared Neptune. So over the past couple of months, we've been, you know, encountering this mode of like lack of clarity, maybe feeling confused, or just not aware of things that would be really helpful to be aware of them, you know, when we want to plan for things, right? So there might be some unplanned changes or some difficulty making plans, like a little mini Mercury retrograde there, okay? Just for a few days through the 15th. So just be aware that you might not be aware of everything that you would like to be aware of during those days. And then Tuesday the 9th, the Sun, I mean, finally we get these really good aspects at the end of the decan. The Sun makes this trine to Uranus. Now, Uranus brings in surprises, and it brings in technological upgrades. It brings in change in a quick way. It changes your perception. It's a little bit like an aha moment, like I didn't know that, and now I do. Ooh, you know, and with the trine energy, it's a positive thing. It means that those changes come to us easily. It's easy to adjust our perception. In this case, it's easy to adjust our sense of purpose and sort of how we think of ourselves, what our identity is in relation to these changes. Those things, we're able to process them very quickly and easily and accept them. So, recognize potential technological upgrades happening here, or just exciting news about progress in the world. And then that might have some effect on you. And then Mars that day also has a sextile with Saturn that will last through about the 20th. So this is Mars, your sense of initiative, in a cooperative vibe here. This is cooperative. It generates positive things with Saturn. Remember, Three of Pentacles, shared goals, teamwork, collective effort. This is the cooperation, okay? Mars sextile Saturn. Finally, we get to the end of the decan and it's like, this is getting easier. So that's initiative and responsibility working together. It's your action-oriented self, times your responsibilities and commitments, helping you generate positive outcomes. Mars in Capricorn, sextiling Saturn that rules Capricorn, where Mars is exalted. This is very, very positive vibe for taking care of some business, getting some real stuff done. And that's it for the first decan of 2024, the first 10 days of the year, friends. Happy New Year to you. This year kicks off about 20 years of transformation when it comes to the systems and networks we rely on to deliver information and material support. It's all very optimistic, but it will not be without its challenges. The next decan will go up on Wednesday, January 10, the day before the new moon in Capricorn. I sure want to know what happens next, and I will be here with it with you to discuss it. Thanks for tuning in today, friends, and until next time, keep looking up.